Today's easy honor is the Risen Road, taking on Anders and Flind. Anders and Flind are not that hard to beat, especially if you reach level 5. Made even easier if you have a Monk Way of the Open Hand available. As we'll show you, we'll take out Anders in just one attack. But you don't want Anders to really get his groove going because he has a lot of abilities like Divine Smite that can hurt quite a bit with a strength score of 18. His charisma modifier +4 can be added to all of his allies' saving throws if he casts Orb of Protection. So we don't want him to get that off. And he has an extra attack. So in addition to having a nice sword, several different smite options, and despite being a Paladin Paladin of tier, he has quite a few bonuses. And he has 57 hit points, which is quite a bit for level 4, level 5. Now, his Sword of Justice has Tier's Protection, which can be cast as a bonus action once per long rest, and increases someone's armor class by 2, making them much harder to hit. So it's a very valuable bonus there that we pick up by equipping this sword. Out of his companions, Cyril is probably the more dangerous of the two remaining companions. She is a mage and has a lot of great spells like Magic Missile, Hold Person, Ray of Frost, Ray of Sickness, Shield, and Thunder Wave. She can do quite a bit of damage if you allow her to. So the good news is that she only has 31 hit points, so she's not that hard to take out. Now Trin really only has Ensnaring Strike and Hunter's Mark as a ranger, but she does have height advantage up there, which is going to allow her to deal a lot more damage. We're going to have Karlach take her out pretty quickly. She has 41 hit points, but we should be able to get her, I think. I'm not using much of my special abilities, especially for the Warlock Paladin, who could potentially smite, but we're going to save those for facing off against Flind in the Gnolls. Now we've blinded Cyril with Vision of the Absolute, which is a spear we were able to pick up when we defeated the Owlbear. I'm kind of surprised she's able to target us. She shouldn't be able to target anyone while she's blind, but I guess we're standing close enough to her that she was able to identify us and pull that off, but we'll get rid of her pretty quickly nonetheless. It can actually be really rewarding to push Cyril off this platform. It's a long ways down, as the Toll Collector himself found out, falling to his death below. You push her off the cliff, she's pretty much done for.
Forever dauntless. Watch and learn.
Yes. Good. Nothing will stand in my way. Cutting to the chase.
Now, because Cyril is a trader, we were able to sell her a backpack, open it up, and then shove all of the stuff she had to trade into it. So when we kill her, instead of getting like 5 or 6 items, we get everything she has, including all of her gold.
I'm done with her! I'm free! I'm free!
After defeating Anders, you now need to decide on the best approach to come at Flind. Now, you might be tempted to go through the cave, but even if you disarm the traps, you're going to end up fighting Flind and you won't have any chance to get her to join you. Going up the other path will bring you in below the Hyenas, and of course we always want the high ground. So we're going to come up this approach over here, and that will allow us to either attack the Hyenas first, Flind will run towards us and then we can convince her to join us, or we can actually sneak right up to Flind and have the conversation where we convince her to join us at the very beginning of the battle.
Still alive, so that's progress. Moving in.
Keeping quiet.
Now, the battle with Flind and the Gnolls is super easy. If you talk to Flind, you can convince her, using the powers of the Absolute, to join your side. You do not want to go through the cavern, you want to go up the mountain. Deal with her before you go deal with the hyenas down below in lower areas. You can see we used Hypnotic Pattern here to kind of slow down the Gnolls until we have a chance to talk to Flind, and then we're going to run around and chat with her.
Let's have some courage. Look at that. On the victor's path. Today you fall.
Ready.
Battle favors the fearless. 2 steps at a time.
With a shock of psychic pain, the pack leader's mind clamps onto yours. You see yourself through her eyes, a pulsing red cluster of organs. Feast. No. The voice has forbidden this meat. Gnolls see your whole world as a meal. This voice is acting as a leash, but it won't hold them for long.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
A memory. The beast daubs the symbol of the Absolute on a cave wall in blood. Buried deep, a tadpole struggles to assert control against the ravenous chaos of her mind. You see drow and goblins restraining her, a mind flayer reaching out. And then the voice, bringing order. Eating this meat was forbidden, but it would lead her to a feast. Sensing your presence, the Gnolls tadpole writhes in ecstasy, echoing your command. Its host will feast on Gnoll flesh to control the hunger, to keep her teeth from your throat.
Your mind lurches, reeling suddenly as if bitten.
Convincing Flind to join your side grants you all the experience points of defeating the Gnolls, including Flind, instantaneously.
Hope your soul is in good hands.
This is my time. Coming through.
Let's end this. Have to keep going.
Death's cold grip. On the way.
What path lies before me?
Finding my way.
Concentrate. Heading there.
over with. Another step forward.
This is my time. 2 steps at a time.
Let's finish this. Let's make this quick.
Go for the throat. Quickly.
She is still ravenous, her mind a hungry pit. The flesh of her pack wasn't enough to satisfy her. Her tadpole responds, thrashing violently, and the fragile tissue of her brain tears and splits. You taste the blood in her throat, feel it pooling in the cavity of her skull. But she still resists.
If you're enjoying these tutorials on how to get through honor mode with ease, please feel free to drop a like and share, and don't forget to subscribe for additional honor mode content.
Your tadpole wriggles, contented, as she tears out her own throat.
There's a parasite in that corpse, brimming with potent magic.
By the gods, you're a sweet sight. Are any of my crew still alive out there? Damn it. I guess that's a no.
Risen Road's more dangerous than ever. You're the first friendly face we've seen since Eltergard.
We're bound for Baldur's Gate. Got some cargo to deliver. But we've a stop to make along the way. Joaquin's Rest. It's just up the road. I'd be enjoying a mug of ale right now if those beasts hadn't jumped us. Listen, you look like you know how to handle yourself. You should meet my associates. We've got our own drinking spot by the tavern. Invitation only. Tell the fellow on the door, Little Serpent, Long Shadow. He'll take good care of you. Shame we lost so many agents. But the chest is all that matters. Zaris would have our hides if we
Now,
lost it.
when it comes to Rugan and the Zentirum and the Iron Flask, unless you intend to open the chest and use the Iron Flask, your best route here, your best course of action is to just allow Rugan to return the chest to the Zentirum. That will give you access to their specialty stock. It'll grant you Herald, the crossbow, which is a nice crossbow to get. If you take the chest to the Zentirum, you can still get everything if you kill Rugan. Everything minus the gold anyway, which isn't exactly ideal. And if you just carry the chest on to Baldur's Gate, you don't even get anything. You get a thank you. Like the leader of the Zentirum says she's going to give you some gold, but she doesn't actually do it. I don't know if this is a bug or not, but you don't really get anything for returning the Iron Flask to the Zentirum in Baldur's Gate. You might as well give it to the Zentirum in the hidden base by Joaquin's Rest. And you might as well just let Rugan return it so that you don't have to kill him in order to get access to the specialty stock and everything.
Aye, the whole reason we're in this mess. Trinkets for some rich tosser in Baldur's Gate. He gets his shiny baubles. We get a handful of taranths.
Taranths are the currency of a merchant network called the Zentirum. Led by the mysterious Paragost of Darkhold, their dealings are far from scrupulous.
You know who we are. Very clever. And you probably also know it's not smart to interfere with Zent business. This is the point when a clever lass like you accepts my gratitude and walks away.
Now, the Speedy Reply is a great weapon for any bard or other dual-wielding character, as this not only has the light property, but it also gives you momentum every time you're striking with it. Now, if we take this path to the right, we reach the best approach to take on the next group of Gnolls. They really seem like quite the cakewalk after dealing with Flind and her group of Gnolls, but we can still take significant damage from these guys if we're not careful. So by coming up to this kind of mound at the top here, we can just shoot them from range without ever having to worry about taking any serious damage. They still manage to do a bit of damage, even shooting at us from below when they hit. So you can imagine how much worse it would be if you approach them on level ground. So we're going to take them out from up here.
Let's have some fun. Move unseen. Won't know what bit him.
I can be subtle sometimes.
Out of sight, out of mind. Two steps at a time. There's blood in the air. Battle favors the fearless.
What comes now? Cloak and dagger, my favorite. Let me strike true. On the move.
Well, so much for peace. How much farther can I go?
Now, when dealing with the bloated hyenas down below, it's important to let them transform before you kill them. The main reason for this is just to farm experience. So killing a hyena is 20 experience points, but if you kill an infant gnoll, it'll net you 40 experience points, same as any other gnoll, and these gnolls are really easy to kill, so might as well let them transform first. So killing the first hyena didn't trigger the hunger timer. That's going to allow these other hyenas to transform. So we're just going to try to do some very minor damage or something to alert these bloated hyenas. We're here so they can start their countdown.
Looking ahead.
So I purposely brought Will down here into the middle of the Gnolls in order to try out the Paladin's new gloves. Gloves of the Growling Underdog, which gives me advantage on all my melee attacks when I'm surrounded by 2 or more opponents. And you can see when I hex this Gnoll that I definitely have advantage if I choose to attack him. And we will, just to see the kind of damage we're dealing here.
Hungry for the slaughter. This will do nicely.
Sometimes the only way out is through. With haste.
Let's finish this. Got to press on.
What's really interesting is we're no longer surrounded by Gnolls, we just have the one remaining, yet we still managed to find a crit, despite not having advantage from the gloves, which does 47 points of damage due to the Paladin being able to use their smite as a reaction on a critical.
What's inside?